Well, that's that. I think I'm going to call this video Dr. Joe's Advanced Anti-Counterfeiting Crash Course. That sounds good. Because that's what it is. I pretty much showed you every single thing in pretty much the shortest amount of time I can manage without missing any details. Everything we've seen from the earlier episodes, all the Fake or Find series, all the way up to current releases. And as you can see, the methods they're using to deter counterfeiting have gotten better and better and better, to the point where the Cuban government seal is almost harder to copy than a dollar bill. I mean, it's getting really fucking difficult. So, break out your magnifying glass, look at what I showed you over there. By the way, the picture of that seal comes from, and I mention them all the time because they're one of the most fantastic information sources on the internet when it comes to Cuban cigars, CubanCigarWebsite.com. They have no agenda, they have no advertising, they promote no vendor or specific brand. They are nothing but a pure information source, and they have, oh man, if you haven't been there, they pretty much have every single brand known to mankind with pictures and descriptions and then all sorts of stuff like I just showed you. So if you're going to comment and say, oh, those numbers that you put in on the Habanos website weren't the same ones that you showed us on the seal, well, that wasn't my seal on the computer. It was my serial number that I entered into the website, and that serial number, I assure you, when I looked through the magnifying glass, is on this government seal. But I'm saying this right now because I'm not really sure that you're going to be able to see that through that little thing I did with the magnifying glass. I put this on the highest resolution I had, you'll notice that this video is of a much better quality than all my previous ones. I turned it up a notch. So hopefully you'll be able to see those numbers. If not, at least you could see that they're there and you know what I'm talking about. Before we close up, we said that we're just going to show you what counterfeiters have been up to. And a lot of people want to say, well, how extreme do they get? I mean, they just do, a half-assed job and, enough to fool people who don't really know or think they know a lot or know a little bit, or they really can't fool the experts. And the truth is that just like, it's like a war, just like Habanos SA is constantly releasing new countermeasures, the counterfeiters are constantly upgrading, their equipment, everything they use. For instance, counterfeit bands that used to have terrible embossing now have great embossing. Sometimes the counterfeit bands have better embossing than the real cigars. So I do not doubt for a second that eventually they'll be upgrading. They make the holograms, that's what people want to know. How far do they go? The answer is they make everything, and they will eventually find a way to do the microprinting. I don't really know if they'll be able to accurately get the serial numbers they need to match the boxes that these numbers are on. I don't know if they'll ever be able to do that, but you know what? I wouldn't put it past them. And one of the questions I get is, what about jars? I mean, are jars a safe bet? Do they counterfeit jars? And the answer is, yeah, they do. Not only do they counterfeit jars, but you got to watch out. Even if you're getting an original jar, you could have bogus cigars in it. Chances of this happening, probably pretty slim, being that if you bought the jar and they have the real jar, I don't know, if they fill the cigar, that's got to be a real, well, I mean, hey, they're all scumbags as far as counterfeiters go, so if they're going to scumbag you, they're going to scumbag you. A lot of times, to be safe, people get the jar and the cigar separate. My whole outlook on that is you might as well. It's a lot safer than having the entire jar confiscated. And besides, the jar is open, so if you get it together, they can just put the fake cigars in it, and if you're getting it separate, those are going to be the same cigars they would put in it. So it doesn't really matter in that aspect. I would say at this point in the game, before you go and order any type of jar, trust your vendor and make sure you know your shit. Not only about everything I've showed you here, but about the actual cigars themselves. You have to be able to tell if a cigar is Cuban or not by looking at the raw thing. No band, no box, no nothing. have your friends test you. Have them put out 4 cigars and pick out the one that's Cuban. And, you know, do that a couple of times, do that a dozen times, and you get better at it. And, you know, constantly smell the cigars, become familiar with the aroma. It's gotten to the point for me that as soon as I open a box, bang, I know it's Cuban. I know that smell. Doesn't mean that they're the cigars that are supposed to be there. A lot of fake cigars are made of Cuban tobacco. So, like I said, the thing never ends. It's an endless loop. But before we go, let me show you a few examples of bullshit jars on the internet. Okay, here we are with our little segment within this episode all about counterfeiting, and I'm going to call this one Bullshit Jars on the Internet. And the first one, it might be very recognizable. It's a Cohiba Siglo 6 jar. I don't like the fact that this jar is on the internet because it resembles a real jar on the market. For about $1,000, you can order from a good vendor such as Cigar One a Cohiba Siglo 6 jar in which you'll get 25 Siglo 6 cigars. And this jar is pretty much made to the exact specifications as the jar in question. So you got to watch out. Let's take a look at it from some other angles. They did the front, we just saw. Here's the back. Let's see if I can just zoom in a little. Let's bang up this. Okay, boom. Here's the back. Made to specifications. Even has the Habanos SA, Hecho, and Cuba. Jesus, man, okay? They got that marked down there. They got the 25 Unidades. Go here. Notice the, perfect shape of the thing. Okay, wow, this is an even better replica than the other fakes because they were making fakes that went straight down and the real Siglo jar kind of swells up a little. This does that. Here you can see some measurements. Here's the top with the gold Cohiba. That looks really good. Here's the bottom, and it's got the goddamn Byron logo on it. Okay. And there's the jar from that point of view. Let me see what they say here. First of all, it's $78.99. They have 10 available out of 25. 25 were sold already. And they have 10 available. Ask yourself, this is the real thing? They sold 25 of these things and there's still 10 available. They have 35 jars and they're selling them for $80 a piece? Come on, man. Don't be a dick. You know, let's see what else they say. Delivery time. They don't give you any specifications about where it came from. They don't say, oh, this jar is from the Cohiba Siglo 6 release without the cigars. It says Cohiba ceramic jar, cigar jar, cigar case, humidor. Size, please see picture. Material ceramic, 100% brand new. This is a fake. And it doesn't come with a box. The thing that bothers me the most is that Byron logo right at the bottom there. Because that means they're really trying to mimic the fuck. Byron did not make this jar. I guarantee you he did not make this jar. And I actually found, I'm going to try to show it to you before we leave. I don't know if I could find it again. I found the website in China where you can wholesale order hundreds of these things. And, you know, that's just unbelievably sucky. Okay? So, number one, do not order a Cohiba Siglo 6 jar from eBay if you are looking. If you're thinking, a few years ago, a friend of mine goes, man, I could order the jar for $80 and then get a box of Siglo 6s for like, you know, $500-600, and I end up with a jar that's worth, you know, that they're selling for $1,000 plus. I said, well, be careful, you know, the jar might not be the real thing. And it isn't. It isn't the real thing. If it was the real thing, it would also have the Byron hologram sticker, which they're not showing there. Of course, it would have the box. Why sell the... If you got this jar and it was because you got a bunch of the jars with the box and the cigars in the jar, why wouldn't you sell it with the box? It's bogus. Okay, our next one is, wow, nice, brand new Cohiba Behike jar with the box and everything. Holy shit, guess what? There is no fucking Behike 54 jar on the market. There's no such thing. This jar is worthless. They're selling it for 105 C, I think. Well, okay, Canadian. It's $95.99 US. 15 watchers. You know, you know, hey, if you want it anyway to put your Behikes in, I think that's kind of cool if it works. I would like that, but it's not a real collectible jar. It's not a limited edition real jar, you know, made for Havana cigars by Byron or something. It's just a piece of ceramic with, you know, it's bullshit. It's not a collectible item. They made thousands upon thousands of these things, and again, there is no Habanos SA release or any distributor release that is the Cohiba Behike 54 jar. And if you're thinking now, well, so you know what? Okay, they made a jar people could buy and put their Behikes in. It's kind of okay. Well, here's the worst one of them all. This one is on a site, and it used to be on eBay. I can't find it anymore. It's on WorthPoint, and here you have the collectible. Zoom in a little. Collectible ceramic Cohiba cigar humidor Millennium 2000 empty jar. Okay, I can't even see what it's sold for because I got to sign in to see what it's worth. But I'm not. Oh, look, source eBay. Let me open that in a new tab and see what we got. No, they don't lead it to the actual item. Oh, so I guess WorthPoint is a site that checks all other auction sites for stuff. But anyway, collectible ceramic Cohiba cigar humidor Millennium 2000. Seal is broken, jar is empty, great condition, no scratches, looks like new. Okay, the problem is, I'm going to try to make the picture bigger here. And those of us out there who've been around a while, look at that jar and tell me what's wrong. I'll give you 5 seconds. Look at that. It's got the Cuban seal on it. Nice fresh box. These things sell for about $3,000 when they're full of the cigars. You know, so a real one sell for a nice, you know, maybe $200, $300 to a collector. Anyway, there's no such thing as a Cohiba Millennium Robustos jar. There's no such thing. The only Cohiba Millennium jar they made are the pyramids, 25 pyramids. Those auction between $3,000 and $4,000 nowadays. They made 10,000 of them total. The only Robustos that there were 3 jars in the Millennium series: Cohiba, Cuaba, and Monte Cristo. The Monte Cristos were Robustos. The Cuabas were Distinguidos, and the Cohibas were pyramids. Right here, if you look, you'll see a beautiful, brand new, you know, government seal, Cohiba Millennium 25 Robustos jar. It's a piece of fucking counterfeited bullshit. But the point is that, look at the job they did on this thing. It looks exactly like the real thing. The shape and all kind of comes, you know, it starts thinner at the bottom. If you look at the top, unfortunately, this is the only picture I have, but if you look at the top, you'll see the whole Millennium cigar logo. Gold Cohiba heads, gold Cohiba embossed. And if I can, I'll try to find that site. It was on eBay. Maybe they took it off, but they had a whole bunch of pictures, and it was to the T, man. They had all the markings on the bottom. You know, they had the government seal, everything, and another fake jar. So just wanted to show you one thing, 2 things. One is that Cohiba jar I told you I tried to find the wholesale site. Well, I didn't find that yet, but I did find this AliExpress, which is like, it says wholesale Cohiba, and it has a whole bunch of Cohiba Behike shit, including that jar again. All right, you know. But then look what they even have here. Look at this shit. This guy, Cohiba Behike 54 cigar humidor, black LE blue-like design. Get the fuck out of here. All that is a fucking, that's what the Cohiba Behikes come in. Here it is. This is a Cohiba 52 box. This is the original when they first came out with them, when it was best cigar of the year. And unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's just ridiculous, man. So he's selling basically what amounts to an empty box for $62 and calling it a humidor. This is not a humidor. This has no room. If you put cigars in here, where the hell are you going to put any type? You can't even fit a Boveda bag in there, no less a humidification unit. You know, so I feel sorry for whoever pays $62 for this. I guess they're lucky because originally it was $73, and he's got more. Hey, look, the 52 is actually more than the 54 for some reason. $85. You know, 10 cigar travel, polished travel humidor. They're selling empty fucking humidor boxes as if they were some kind of thing a company made that's worth a lot of money. You gotta be fucking kidding me. These people are relentless, man. Jeez. Here's one down here for $1,431. Behike 52 moisturizing box. What is this from the... I think this looks like it's from the original Behike. No, this is Esplendido's. What the hell is that? Yeah, okay, big deal. It's got the... He did a UV thing. What the hell is that? That's not Behike. What is that? That's like Romeo and Juliet or something. A moisturizing box. Storage boxes, bins. Wool material. Technology other. $1,431 for one piece. Cohiba Select Behike 52 Riddell. I can't even understand what he's describing here. I don't know what this guy is selling. I don't know what is this? What is this? He has it under UV light. He's showing the... What, that it's real deal? Look at my UV stamp. Anyway, the last thing I want to show you is look at this. Look what I found. Our non-existent Behike jar is actually selling with 21 cigars on a site called vip-cigars-shop.com. I was not familiar with this site at all till just now, looking for the Behike jar and seeing what was going on. I know for sure that it's not a real release. I know for sure that the jar is only made by, it's mass produced in China. There are places where you can buy 100 of them at a time. I know for sure that eBay is flooded with them. And then all of a sudden you have what someone is trying to portray as a legitimate Cuban cigar site. And it's on here. I don't know anything about this guy. I don't know if he ships real cigars or not. What I do know is that he's got a $80 jar. Well, actually, it's like a $10 jar, which sells on eBay for $80. He's got an $80 jar that he put Behike 54s. I can get them $350 a box. Max people would be paying for them is $400 a box. Let's say you paid $400 a box. That comes to $800 plus 5 more. Let's be crazy and say, that would be $200. So you got $1,000. Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, there's not 25. There's 21 cigars. 21. So that's 400 and change, like $40. Say, let's say $440 and $400. $840. It would be $840 for that many Behikes at max price. I could get them, I know, about $300 to $350 a box. So, I'd pay $700, $750, and he's charging $1,100. So, yeah, that's a bit of a ripoff. That's a big bit of a ripoff. That's about $400 or $500 too much. At least $400 too much. And this is the same jar that you get on eBay for $80. So, he also claims that it's in a limited edition produced for Cigar VIP in a porcelain jar. Porcelain is not the same thing as ceramic, people. They say most jars are ceramic. The only one I know that is porcelain, that I'm pretty sure is porcelain, is the Bolivar Regional Edition China Distinguidos jar. Yeah, there's our Behike 54 jar right there. And oh God, and I have too many things open. And here's the one right here. So I'm pretty sure it's the same fucking thing. See, it's got that white around there, and here it's got that white around there. I'm looking for things that could be different. They make a box too and everything. So when you get this, But every other reputable cigar site I know, from Cigar One on down, there is no Behike 54. If you go to Cuban Cigar Info, where they have all the modern releases, there is no Behike 54. Any La Casa del Habano News Network, nothing. There's nothing. I made triple sure there is no Behike 54 jar release. So this guy is, even if the cigars are real, he's being a little shady. All right, let's take a look at those couple of bands just to see the quick differences, and then we'll say goodnight.